Okay, and we are live right now. Welcome to our tonight's show. Today is Sunday. Everyone is hoping to have a news on this day because right now is Sunday morning in the United States and in the Western countries. Right now we are having experienced the Sunday has been brutal for cryptocurrency market, especially with today's news is the DeFi. It's all about DeFi because that TVL is very, very important, especially one we look at is Uniswap. Uniswap currently ranking in TVL ranking at the number six on this. The first is Lido, MakerDAO, Curve, Aave, Convex Finance, and Uniswap. So what is happening with the Uniswap? Around the corner, Uniswap has been issuing some certain types of updates, and they call this one RFC update. And they are going to deploy Uniswap V3 on BNB chain, and that is Binance. Binance is taking an approach to make its chain more diversified, more decentralized, because we all know the Binance chain is centralized and its exchange is also heavily centralized. So I think the BNB and Binance chain is trying to replace this whole situation narrative around the Uniswap, and as well as they are secretly competing with the Ethereum, and they are hoping that they will be the promised, the chosen one on this cryptocurrency market, that they will replace the Ethereum and stand alongside with Bitcoin. And I think that is a pretty big claiming, because what is happening with the Uniswap is they are pretty much issuing, hey, it is actually the good thing to deploy it on BNB chain, because first, it is TVL, a huge amount of liquidity exposure. The Uniswap needs a lot of money because it's a big monster, and a monster needs to feed, and that money has to come from somewhere, and they are thinking it is from BNB chain. What the BNB chain has? BNB chain has, first of all, we all know the PancakeSwap is one of the biggest decentralized application on the BNB chain. That is the big money liquidity source. And the third of all, we all know the BNB Smart Chain daily activity user has been growing so much for the last couple months, and right now it has been quite a big. It's more than over 1.1 million people a day, and this is something has been proven and also statistically proven that there's been a daily liquidity in and out. It's around the 2.5 billion US dollars. First, it's a wrap BNB, and second it's a Tether USDT, and third is BUSD. Those are the three tokens are dominated inside the BNB chain that has been transferred most, and also it has been distributed more evenly throughout the BNB chain. And the Uniswap, what they're thinking is, oh, Uniswap is having a big exposure, and it needs to have more, which is they are wanting to deploy it on the BNB chain. But the Bryan Pellegrino, he is having a different opinion, because he says absolutely shocking that competitor would put out wildly dishonest post about us, which is he is the one who is the co-founder and CEO of the Layer Zero Labs, which is one of the remaining ones who are pushing this V3 on the Uniswap chain. So that is something very important. We all need to know that who has what opinion, and what are the narratives are true, what are the news are actually the truth behind all these like ups and downs of bullish and bearish news. So we all know that the Bryan Pellegrino, he is saying no. Happily to have these guys or any other of the auditing firms comment and dispel. But let me summarize. If you set up your own configure, absolutely none of this is true, because the whole narrative around the BNB chain is actually better is something is not true. So therefore, I don't think Uniswap is going to deploy their V3 on BNB chain. I think they should stay out of this, because sooner or later BNB chain needs to have its own exposure. As we can see it in the L2 beats, as we can see it, it is only a ZK rollup, an optimistic rollup, which is on top of Ethereum chain. And I think the Uniswap V3 should be carried along the way with the Ethereum chain, the Ethereum ZK rollups and the optimistic rollups and the Validium. That is another thing. Validium is the third party, which is another thing. They are pushing it through with the V2, the layer 2 solutions. And also we all know that Plasma, which is we just saw this one, because Plasma is the one. They are Plasma Finance's multi-chain DeFi NFT metaverse powered by OX Plasma. So what they're really doing is Plasma is the one leading the run with the V3 on top of the Uniswap. So there you go. This is your narrative. This is the whole thing, what is going on behind the Uniswap. And I think this narrative should solve within next couple hours. And I think within next couple of days, these people will probably come out on Twitter, and they will talk about what they actually decided to do. Because sooner or later, the liquidity needs to be deployed, and it needs to be dragged from some kind of sources, whether it's from BNB chain, the PancakeSwap, or it is stay with the Plasma, or it's a ZK rollup. A whole Ethereum ecosystem and a whole Arbitrum ecosystem, a whole Sorare or RihannaFi ecosystem, the whole Apex ecosystem, whatever it is, the money has to come from somewhere. And that is the secret that yet to be revealed within the next 24 hours and maybe next 48 hours. So you guys stay tuned within our YouTube channel. Make sure you guys subscribe. Tomorrow's news is going to be very big, and we will deep dive into the TA right now. So let's go into the TA. We are looking at the Ethereum. Ethereum is having a dump within last 24 hours. And right now we are looking at the real hard way, what is going to happen with the FTM. FTM is the one that I have chosen last 24 hours that I've shorted this one, and right now it has been experienced the minus 13% within how many hours? So it started from last night around 11 p.m. and right now it's around at 10 p.m. It's within the 24 hours. So as we can see it, another exchange, another big leading crypto is the Lido. Lido Finance has been experienced another hit as well, because everyone is thinking this cryptocurrency is going to the moon. Would not gonna happen, because there was the golden line has been retrieved downwards, and now it has to track the trace, which is it hit the $1.8, but it currently trading around the $2, and I think the price will most likely to go down and retest its own layer in here. And I think this $1.7 of a supporting level, it needs to go down. And I think this will pretty much test it maybe 3 times and go up and a retest above, and then it will dump down very hard as well. So there you go. The Lido is the leading cryptocurrency market as we see it. This is the Lido market on the TVL. The most activity is going with the liquid staking service on Lido. and that is where the most money is made. But if their price is going down, what that really means, I think the prices needs to be manipulated. I think the bull run for this Lido could not go for long, because as long as it keeps, I think the bigger institutions, the bigger monies needs to flow, and they need to get their interest back. And when they take it back, they need to sell their assets and get the profits back. That is the heavy truth in the market. Anyone who made the money, somehow it needs to be taking the profit, and they need to dump the price. They need to dump the coin so that they can go cash out with the stable coins or US dollars, anything they want. And at the same time, one is buying the coin, another one is selling the coin. That is the hard truth. So as well as we all can see it, this is something the Bitcoin is very out of this whole narrative situation, because Bitcoin is a sustainable thing. It has its own ways of exploring the new prices. It has its own investors. For example, the whole situation, we all know that the Bitcoin treasuries has so many companies, has its own assets, like emergency assets, to placed on top of Bitcoin, and their declaration is they have only one rule for their investment. They buy it and hold it for whatever its amount of time they want until it makes a sufficient amount of profit for them. And I think their timing is at least 5 years. I think at least they will hold it for 5 years, because the dollar price is dumping, because all the other currencies around the world is shaking it to death, and they are leaving their currencies even in their countries, and some of the bigger countries are starting to adopt Bitcoin. That is the hard truth. That is the real truth that we are facing right now. And I think everyone should understand what's the real liquidity mining is, what's the real liquidity staking is, because when they are taking the profit within the short amount of time, they need to sell their assets in order to make profits, so that the others can buy it up at the top and they can suffer it. So that is the real truth. So stay out of that. Right now, it is not the right timing on staking, and right now it's not a time on trying to make money on DeFi kind of thing. No, it's not the right timing, because it is the time for stay with the real legend. What is it? It is Bitcoin. So we'll see you for our next video. Goodbye, guys. See you tomorrow.